But first, here's my take. For about a decade, the United States has been comforted by the notion that China had lost its way. After 35 years of astonishing growth, Beijing stumbled internally and abroad. Its leaders cracked down on some of the country's most innovative sectors, from technology to education, driving entrepreneurs into exile or silence. Its wolf warrior diplomacy alienated its neighbors from India to Australia to Vietnam. That era is over. China's leaders have corrected their course. This September, while President Trump accused nations at the UN General Assembly of being hopeless failures and harangued the UN for not hiring him to renovate its headquarters decades ago, President Xi Jinping put forward a global governance initiative to commemorate the 80th anniversary of the UN's founding. He proposed strengthening the multilateral system along a series of dimensions, positioning Beijing as the constructive, agenda-setting superpower.
With tariffs, we had
as America doubles down on increasingly idiosyncratic protectionism, threatening 100% levies on foreign-made movies, for example, China announced last week that it would no longer take advantage of any special privileges of being a developing country, a major concession sought for decades by free trade advocates. As the U.S. levies crippling tariffs on poor countries in Africa and Asia, China has offered zero tariff-based trade to any least developed country and some middle-income countries with which it has diplomatic relations, including 53 African nations. Julian Gewirtz and Jeffrey Prescott argue in a recent foreign affairs essay that Beijing has shifted from a reactive defensive stance to a more opportunistic and strategic one. As Washington has left friends and foes grappling with how to respond to its volley of tariffs and insults, China presents itself as a serious country with predictable, consistent policies. The most significant area of competition, of course, is technology. Here, China has already established a commanding lead in several areas. In green technology, from solar panels to batteries to electric vehicles, Beijing's dominance is now overwhelming. These act as a geopolitical lever, as Beijing offers solar farms, battery plants, and electric buses to nations in Latin America, Africa, and Asia. Bloomberg has tracked 13 critical technologies and found that China now leads in 5 and is catching up fast in 7. In one area, however, Washington still believes it has an unrivaled lead: artificial intelligence. American firms like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google dominate the frantic race to artificial general intelligence, though few can define precisely the term or explain what it means to win this race. China's approach to AI is strikingly different from America's. Instead of chasing AGI, Beijing has emphasized applications and diffusion. It seeks to embed AI into every corner of its economy and society, in logistics, in surveillance, in smart cities, in healthcare, in drones and robots. This strategy ensures that AI quickly produces real economic transformation and returns, raising productivity and embedding the new technology into daily life. China has also chosen a different model of diffusion, where many American firms are locking their frontier models behind proprietary walls. Chinese companies are releasing open AI systems, most prominently DeepSeek, that can be easily adapted and deployed. It's an irony that communist China now embraces open technology platforms while the US favors closed ones. This strategy could make Chinese AI a global standard, especially in the developing world, where governments and firms are eager for cheap, customizable tools. Add to this Huawei's emerging dominance in 6G technology, and it's quite possible that the technology interface for much of the world will be Chinese, not American. What makes China's technology strategy particularly formidable is its integration across domains. It is not just building AI models. It is weaving them into hardware, infrastructure, and cities. Consider robotics. Chinese firms are producing humanoid, and quadruped machines equipped with rich sensor arrays that allow them to see and think in real environments. Just last year, China installed almost 9 times as many industrial robots as the United States. Or take drones and, yes, flying cars. China is building what it calls a low-altitude economy, carving out urban airspace for autonomous aerial vehicles. In Shenzhen, drones already deliver packages. In Guangzhou, Yihang self-flying cars have begun taking passengers. Again, the advantage is integration, sensors, AI, hardware, and regulation aligned to create transformative technology. Meanwhile, in the United States, government funding for basic science and technology has been slashed. Our best universities are under siege, with the government locked in a war to take down Harvard, by many measures the world's top-ranked research university. While the government was on the verge of shutting down in Washington, the President and Secretary of Defense summoned hundreds of the country's top generals to lecture them on staying slim and fighting woke ideology. We need to get serious. Go to cnn.com/Fareed for a link to my Washington Post column this week. And let's get started.